Coming to you live from our studios in Belize City, this is the Evening News on Love Television for Wednesday, September 7th. We'll get you started with a look at the stories that are making the headlines for today. The People's United Party brings out thousands of supporters to send a message to the Dean Barrow administration. A young mother of two gunned down in Orange Walk Town. Director of Government's press office placed on leave without pay, and Senior Counsel Eamon Courtney weighs in on Auditor General's report. For the second night in a row, we start off our newscast with reports of a murder. Sometime after 7 o'clock last night, neighbors in the Louisiana area of Orange Walk Town were surprised by the sound of gunshots. When it was over, the life of a young mother of two was cut short. Earlier today, we spoke with the officer commanding Orange Walk Police, Senior Superintendent Selvin Tillett, who said they have been unable to determine a motive for the murder.
Last night at 7:05 p.m., acting upon information, Orange Walk Police visited Corner Rio Bravo on Boundary Road in Orange Walk Town. We are inside the living room of the cement house occupied by one Luis Briceño Sr. The motionless body of his daughter, Jahida Crawford, 23 years, visa domestic of same address, was seen lying face down with a fine gunshot wound to lower back and left side of upper hip. Initial investigation revealed that sometime around 7 p.m., someone went and called Jahida Crawford, who came out to the veranda of house. Thereafter, said person entered the yard, fired two gunshot wounds toward her, one of which hit her on the left side of the face and lower back. Ms. Crawford was able to run into the living room where she collapsed and lay there motionless. Police visited the scene where they found 1.40 mm caliber shell. The body of Ms. Crawford was transported to Nara Regional Hospital, where Dr. Delmy Lopez pronounced her dead at 9:15 p.m. The body awaits a post-mortem. At this moment, no motive has been mentioned or have been obtained as yet. As I said, it's early into the investigation, very young. But we're looking at all angles at this moment.
The last murder reported in Orange Walk Town was on August 29, and it claimed the life of Kevin Flowers, who was shot to death in front of his home on Smithsonian Street. Supporters of the People's United Party gathered at the Constitution Park in Belize City for a demonstration. The PUP had indicated that they would be bringing in their supporters from across the country to show their discontent with the manner in which Prime Minister Dean Barrow has been leading. Reporter Hipólito Novello has more in this report.
The People's United Party flexed its muscle this morning as supporters marched through the streets of Belize City to show their discontent with the UDP administration. The rally, held under the team Save Belize Now, kicked off at Constitution Park and found its way to BTL Park. Leading the march was PUP leader John Briceño.
We are very excited and we're very pleased and energized from the support that we're getting from the people. 1 week ago, we decided that we're going to bring people to Belize City to stand up for Belize, to show the Prime Minister and the UDP government that enough is enough. And never did I expect to see this crowd of people.
Briceño estimates that the crowd was made up of about 5,000 supporters.
From what I've been told, and I heard the first estimate that the police gave us about 5,000 people. But by that time, we didn't have Toledo East had some delays. They had so many checkpoints, and every 5 miles they must have a checkpoint. And there were, I think, about 9 buses that were coming. So it's certainly over 5,000, probably 6. I would not be able to tell you right now.
And representation from across the country?
We have representation from the Corozal district all the way from to the Toledo district. Every single district, every town, every city is represented here today with us.
The purpose of the march was to grasp the attention of Prime Minister Dean Barrow and force his hand to stop what the PUP describes as corrupt practices done by UDP ministers and political appointees, specifically as it relates to the Auditor General's special report.
Now we have a report, the General's report, that has clearly demonstrated that there has been corruption within the United Democratic Party government. And the people are now saying that enough, the Prime Minister can't continue to defend and protect his ministers. No less than 13 former and present ministers have been implicated in that report. The Prime Minister cannot try to discredit that report. It is his Auditor General that gave that report. He needs to listen, he needs to study, and he needs to take action as to from that report that the Auditor General has presented to him and to the Belizean public.
The opposition leader hopes to mount enough pressure on the government with the hopes of having the support of the social partners.
But what we want to do is to put pressure on them, that they either are going to fix up, clean up the corruption, get the economy going, stop the victimization, and create a different Belize, change direction. They're either going to do that, or we are going to put pressure on them for them to do something about it.
What happens after today, sir, or is it a one-day showing?
No, this is just the start. What we are doing now is that we are going to continue to meet with the social partners, with the churches, with the unions, with the private sector, and any group that is prepared to listen to us and to tell them, join us. Let's forget party politics right now. This is about Belize. We cannot allow the Prime Minister to get away with the actions that have his cabinet ministers has taken.
We can see that you are corrupt. We can see that you're a lame duck government. The people are saying enough, and the muscle of the People's United Party is alive and strong. We want the government, first of all, to be held accountable for the irregularities and irresponsibilities that they have performed. And secondly, we want them out of government, and this is the beginning of it.
Reporting for Love News, I am Hipólito Novello.
The special report conducted by the Auditor General has undoubtedly lent itself as ammunition for the opposition party to chastise the ruling United Democratic Party and characterize its ministers as being corrupt. Immigration Minister Godwin Hulse had told Love News that the reports were flawed, and Prime Minister Dean Barrow, at a recent press conference, shared his legal opinion on the reports, something that should not be considered, says Senior Counsel Eamon Courtney.
It is not Mr. Barrow's legal opinion that is important. Mr. Barrow is a Prime Minister. He's not the Director of Public Prosecution, he's not a judge, and he's not a magistrate. So his legal opinion is irrelevant, as is mine. That is why the Constitution says that the Senate must investigate it and produce a report, which is then sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions to determine whether anybody is going to be charged. The position is very simple. All of us can look as lawyers at the reports, and it is manifest that there's irregularities amounting to wrongdoing. But our opinions are relevant. We want a fair process. The Prime Minister, for example, talks about natural justice being denied to people who have been named in the report. There is a fundamental rule of natural justice that a person cannot be a judge in his own cause. And here it is the Prime Minister, here it is Godwin Hulse, who have been named in the report are saying they want to appoint their own judges, they want their cabinet colleagues to be judges to investigate themselves. They are setting up not only a breach of natural justice, but a violation of the Constitution that says that they should not put themselves in conflict of interest. It's a scandal and an outrage.
Speaker of the House Michael Perifete has written to the Auditor General demanding an apology for mistakenly listing him as someone who does not have the authority to recommend someone for a passport. As a member of the House of Representatives, he does, and now he is demanding an apology. Director of the Press Office, Dorian Pakeman, has been placed on immediate unpaid leave. This follows a meeting between Prime Minister Dean Barrow and Pakeman. As we reported on Monday, police revealed that the results of blood specimen taken from him on March 30 showed that there was cocaine in his system at the time that he was involved in the fatal road traffic accident that claimed the life of Dean Dawson, a mechanic of Gardenia Village. The release says they are awaiting the decision of the Director of Public Prosecution on whether charges will be brought against Pakeman. Pakeman was driving a government-issued vehicle when the incident occurred. The Belize National Trade Union, BNTU, will be holding meetings countrywide. That is the Belize National Teachers Union. The meeting has been scheduled so that the BNTU members can discuss national issues and those relating to the BNTU. Correspondent Harry Arzu spoke to the Stan Creek branch president, Troy Coleman, about tomorrow's meeting.
As a branch of the BNTU, we are doing what we are supposed to do after a decision has been made at our council that all the branches of the BNTU must meet tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. to discuss these issues and to have our membership make a decision as to how we're going to move forward as a union in relation to these issues.
What are some of the issues you're focusing on?
First and foremost, for our branch, we are focusing a lot on the national issues. We have been hearing about different issues affecting our country that has very, very serious implications for the future of our country. Example, we are demanding that a special select Senate committee be appointed to investigate the audit report. We are also hoping and praying that the government would find in its wisdom to put together the Integrity Commission and to also try as much as possible to fight corruption in this country, because corruption is eating away our country, and the more corruption we're seeing, the more people are moving into poverty. We have never seen poverty as high as this in our country, and we can say that it's because corruption, our resources of this country are not being used for the benefit of our people, hence the reason more of our people are living in poverty. Corruption has a very high price, and that is what we're paying in this country at this time. That is why we are imploring our membership to put aside all political differences, take off all political hats, to stand up to save our country. Tomorrow, 1:30 at Ecumenical, will be the first move to show the government and the people of Belize that BNTU Stan Creek branch is ready and willing to take a stand to defend this country.
Sources say that some of the branches of the BNTU are agitating for strike action within the next few weeks. Last month, the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association announced the winners of the 2016 FCCA Foundation Children's Essay Competition. The competition invited students from the region to submit essays based on the topic, "If you were a cruise passenger, what would you want to see and do in your destination?" Competition attracted entries from 21 countries, and Belize was no exception. In fact, St. Anne Anglican primary school student Janae Rodriguez made Belize very proud by placing first in the junior division. Rodriguez, accompanied by her mother Andrea Rodriguez, spoke on her accomplishments.
Well, I was sleeping when my mom told me, and when she told me that I won, I jumped out of bed and I began screaming, and it felt good that I won.
How long did it take you to write the essay?
Well, one night, maybe.
Tell us about the thoughts that went through your mind when you were writing the essay, the ideas that you had.
Well, the adventure and stuff that I went on.
And did you write about a specific destination, right? What was that destination?
It was like Belize Baboon Sanctuary, zip lining and stuff like that.
And as a mother, how do you feel about your daughters winning the division?
Very, very proud. I knew she was an excellent writer before, but just for her to win this, I think is such a good validation for her to continue to pursue writing. So we're very proud of her.
Minister of Tourism Manuel Heredia said that Rodriguez represented Belize in an admirable fashion.
I think we have been doing this for a couple of years now. And I think it is a wonderful initiative between the Belize Tourism Board and the cruise industry in trying to bring orientation to our youths so that they in turn later on can pass it to other people. And that is why we believe that it will be a way whereby these children will be trying their best to make sure that Belize all over can be looking nice.
One message we want to send to those young Belizean minds who, in terms of making an effort to participate in these sort of competitions?
Well, my strongest message is let us join forces together. Let us, young, old, and of all ages, let us come together. We have a wonderful product to offer in Belize, and if we join forces to make sure that we have a sustainable development tourism industry in Belize and a clean environment throughout the country, then what else can we ask?
The first place winners and their schools will receive $3,000 academic scholarships, and the winners and a chaperone will be invited to accept their prizes at the FCCA Caribbean Cruise Conference and Trade Show opening ceremony in San Juan, Puerto Rico on Tuesday, September 26th. Also recognized were Ryan Smith of Grace Primary School and Jacqueline Ewens of Belmopan Methodist School for representing Belize in the senior division of the poster competition. Daniel Peraza of Holy Angels RC School was recognized for placing third in the junior division of the poster competition, which was based on the theme Reuse, Recycle, and Renew the Caribbean. The first export shipment of turmeric yellow ginger paste produced by Naledo Belize Limited was made out of Punta Gorda. We hear more in this report from correspondent Paul Mahang.
The first export shipment left Punta Gorda to Canada, as explained by Naledo Belize Limited Chief Executive Officer Umida Switlow.
We're proud of our first shipment that left our office on Friday. We worked hard in preparation for it, and we are grateful to our very dedicated staff of young people, all under the age of 30. This is our first pallet of boxes of yellow ginger paste, truly turmeric, before we start to ship our containers.
Umida Switlow was pleased with a surprise visit of a distinguished visitor, which coincided with Naledo's first export shipment of turmeric yellow ginger paste.
We love having visitors at our little factory in Punta Gorda on Clement Street. And we had such a surprise. The First Lady of Belize came by, Kim Simplice Barrow, and she was really impressed and really happy to meet the youth that worked so hard on this project. Please come by and visit us.
Naledo Belize Limited manager Cherish Thomas also commented on the first export shipment.
We are so excited. The farmers in Toledo, the youth in Toledo, this is a true social enterprise, and our first shipment of yellow ginger to Canada. And I would say on the other end, for Canadians, they're excited to be a part of this business where they can add this beautiful yellow ginger, which is an antioxidant and also an anti-inflammatory agent. Indians have known this for a long time, and now the whole world has caught on to it. I would say that yellow ginger or turmeric is the new hottest item in terms of spices.
Comments from management and staff of Naledo Belize Limited indicated much satisfaction and achievement in their first of many other expected export shipments of turmeric yellow ginger paste to Canada. This report is sponsored by King's Energy Uno service stations in Punta Gorda and Big Falls, Toledo, where with every $25 purchase you get a chance to win a full 10-gallon tank of quality butane gas to be raffled on the final day of this month. Reporting for Love News, Paul Mahone, Punta Gorda.
1.9 billion tons of litter ends up in the oceans every year, and most of the litter is food items. Littering is something that is easily done and causes so much damage to the environment. In Belize, it is an issue that is negatively affecting the tourism industry. Minister of Tourism Manuel Heredia Jr. spoke on the matter.
That is one important aspect that tourists complain a lot, that Belize is such a wonderful place, but many of its places are dirty. And I personally can say that it is a culture, a Belizean culture, that we don't pay much attention to that aspect of the industry. And I believe that if we continue with this initiative in the long run, young people will be oriented and will be making sure that our Belize becomes a paradise. But again, the cleanliness is an important aspect, because I don't believe that it doesn't make any sense to have so many beautiful things in Belize, yet it is dirty, yet there is a lot of garbage, particularly cans and plastic bottles. That is why one of the topics over there was the reusable things, recycling, and that is something that as a tourist industry we are looking forward into bringing programs whereby we will have probably companies, or we have our own Belizeans looking into this recycling of plastic bottles and aluminum cans and so forth.
23-year-old Jamal Warrior, a resident of Orange Walk, was remanded into custody when he appeared today before Magistrate Carlon Mendoza, and he was arraigned on a charge of robbery. The prosecutor objected to bail on the ground that the complainant has identified the person who robbed him, and the defendant might interfere with the complainant if granted bail. Warrior was unable to provide a good reason why he should be granted bail, and he was remanded into custody until Friday, September 9th for bail consideration. The incident occurred around 11:15 a.m. yesterday. The complainant, a 16-year-old boy, was walking on Main Avenue when he was approached by two persons riding on bicycles. He said one of the men put the blade of a knife to the left side of his neck and took his Apple iPhone from the right pocket of his pants. Both persons then rode away. The minor said he told his father, who was nearby, and they called the police. He and his father then got into his father's vehicle and followed the culprits. The police reported that they apprehended Warrior near to the Finnegan's Market, and when they searched him, they found 1.6 grams of cannabis in one of his socks. And Warrior pled guilty to possession of a controlled drug, and he was fined $100 by Magistrate Mendoza. He was given until October 7th to pay, and if he defaults on payment, he will serve 1 month. The inauguration ceremony for Silver Creek Preschool Building was held this past weekend. We join correspondent Paul Mahung, who has the report.
The event was timely as the needed new building is now fully in use with reopening of school. During official inauguration ceremony, welcome address was given by Silver Creek Village Alcalde Mateo Chub. In a report on the project expenditure, School PTA Chairman Faustino Che confirmed that the construction of the building costing $17,777 was contributed by Silver Creek Village Council, school PTA, teachers, parents, other members of the community, and Toledo Cocoa Growers Association. Silver Creek Village Chairman Alberto Choco Sr. was very pleased and appreciative of the joint community-level efforts in completion of the project.
I am so happy about my villagers that they cooperate, that right now we are inaugurating for a preschool building, come from the PTA, along with the communities, and along with the staff of the teachers, and along with we have do this fundraising from doing this competition we have with the chocolate cup, and we really applaud the Toledo Cacao Growers that giving really great help for make quick guideline and build our new preschool. So we are very, very happy right now with all of my people. The amount of people are here are supporting me. This is the leader to go. We are working together. We are not using any kind of political. We work together. Unity is the strength of our community. I thank all of my villagers for that.
Guest speaker was Toledo Catholic Schools local manager Timoteo Bo.
I want to thank the community leaders. They came together, the PTA, the village council, in making this building a reality. It shows that how when communities come together, they can achieve a lot. As management, I have pledged my support for them, and I will look forward to contributing in terms of furniture for the school. So I really thank them, and it shows that they have come together to work in order for them to uplift their community. It had a lot to do with partnership and commitment on their part, because they too have their own little work, and this is extra duty for them in contribution towards the upliftment of their community. Thanks, Silver Creek.
Silver Creek School Principal Louis Skull spoke of the need for the new school building.
I have seen the initiative of having a new school building, a need for a preschool and infant 1 division. So I have called the community leaders, the community members. We have a meeting, and we have come together to do a fundraising drive to renovate our school, primary school, preschool, and hence that's the reason that the community have worked a collaborative effort, and we have worked together, and the reality of our dreams come true through this new school, preschool building and the infant 1 classroom.
The ceremony also included entertainment by students and presentation of 5 funds to Silver Creek preschool teacher Consuela Choco as donation from family of Elodio Co for use in the new building. After cutting off the ribbon to mark the new concrete building open, the vote of thanks was given by community health worker Jose Chub. The major village-level event ended with servings of cultural food and refreshments at the home of Silver Creek Village Chairman Alberto Choco Sr. This report is sponsored by King's Energy Uno service stations in Punta Gorda and Big Falls, Toledo, where with every $25 purchase you get a chance to win a full 10-gallon tank of quality butane gas to be raffled on the final day of this month. Reporting for Love News, Paul Mahone, Punta Gorda.
Our thought conditioner for today is from George Eliot. It reads, quote, "Blessed is the man who, having nothing to say, abstains from giving us wordy evidence of the fact." End of quote. This has been the evening news on Love Television, and we invite you to log on to our website at www.lovefm.com for transcripts of our news stories. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. I am Taryn Butcher.